A Guardian's work is never done. No sooner had we responded to the Dark Fleet's cloaking of half our system, and stopped Aramis from amassing an army of Dark Elixni, and learned more about the power of stasis. Now this? It is with a heavy heart that I report that Sagira, Osiris's ghost and my friend, is gone. Destroyed by two threats, one new and one very old. Xivu Arath, Savathun and Oryx's sister, the apparent hive god of war, is corrupting what's left of our system, preparing to make her move. And as if that wasn't enough, Aldrin Sov, or rather, the Crow, is alive as a light-bearer, working for the Spider. Welcome back, Guardians, to another Embrace Destiny video. Kaz PhD here, with another Vanguard report on what's happening in the system. We've got a lot to get through, so let's take it one step at a time. For months now, Osiris has been tracking the movements of the Pyramid Fleet. Last week, they took 4 worlds from us: Titan, Io, Mercury, and Mars. However, Osiris has since found indications that these worlds remain, not destroyed, but cloaked, or something similar. Gravitational readings remain consistent, meaning the planet's gravitational effects remain the same. It's like the planets are there, but we just can't get to them. Similarly, Osiris has started tracking down errant, dissonant tones. I'm sure you've heard them. Anyone who has spent time away from the bustle of the city, in the void of deep space, has heard them. The light and the dark appear to be communicating, singing, fighting. It is hard to say, but where paracausality occurs, where these two forces clash, these tones can be heard. In any case, tracking down these signals led Osiris to the Tangled Shore. There, several cabals stood, entranced and transfixed around a hive growth, an obelisk, a small tower of some kind. Investigating further, Osiris began to hear whispers, promises of power, threats of violence. For most Guardians, it would seem like another day in the life, but this was different. The hive had corrupted the cabal, and the voice, the whispers, were from Xivu Arath. Sister to Savathun and Oryx, the supposed hive god of war, Xivu Arath's will is strong, even if her presence in our system has not been. For those field scouts in the Dreaming City, you may have come across some of her agents before. Those who guard the door to the Blind Well especially wave her banner, awaiting her next move. Continuing his investigation, Osiris went to the Dreadnought, where he found more signs of hive activity, an awakening, slow but persistent, with an imminent resurgence happening on the moon. Xivu Arath's agent's next mission? Wipe out the last of Crota's daughters. There's not enough bandwidth to go into the details here, but the Hive have been scrambling for power for some time. Thanks to Vanguard and Guardian operations, the Scarlet Keep was besieged, the Pit of Heresy broken, and while the Hive remains scattered, there is always a looming threat that something, or someone, will unite them. Against all wisdom, Osiris went to the moon himself. I'm sorry, this report will become a little emotional, but I need to report these events as I see them, and there is a lesson we Guardians keep failing to learn over and over again. Rather than call for reinforcements, or wait, Osiris made the move to strike, to take out the Hive daughters in one swoop. However, just as on the shore, Osiris's actions were observed by Xivu Arath, or at least, her High Celebrant. Every action, every use of power made it stronger. When it finally arrived, the High Celebrant threw Osiris around like he was nothing. Its darkness weighed on him, cutting off all possibility of fighting back or retreating. There, in perhaps his darkest moment, Osiris was saved by Sagira. She sacrificed herself, ripped herself apart so her light could shield him and allow him to escape. And what did he do? What did the oh-so-wise Osiris do? He pursued vengeance. He called for our help, but carried on, deeper into the hive infestation. There, we found him, and we also found the crow. Brought back from the dead, Uldren Sov's body now walks the tangled shore, under a new name, empowered by the light with his own ghost named Glint. I know this is tough to hear. After this, the crow took us to see the spider. Apparently, the Baron of the Shore found Crow, wandering aimlessly in the reef. Spider took him in, gave him a name, a purpose, and, sickeningly, modified Glint, Crow's ghost, to explode if the new Lightbearer acted out of line. Our arrangement, at least for now, is to work with the crow to investigate and, if possible, stop this hive threat. But I would be lying if I said I was comfortable with all of this. First off, I am glad to see that lines of communication appear to be opening. Guardians, Vanguard, the people of the reef, far too often everyone believes they can handle every problem on their own. We fail in isolation. We know this. However, this exactly outlines my problems with Osiris's actions. I may not have lived as long or as many lives as him, but what was he thinking tackling the threat himself? Did he not learn from Cade or any of the precious others? The Vanguard enacted the rule of fire teams, no more than 3 or 6 if the situation calls for it. No more Guardians than that for any one operation. But the same must be made clear on the other end. Too many lone wolves in our ranks lost due to impatience or rash action. Now Osiris is left ghostless. While his counsel and technology will continue to be valuable, we have nearly lost a great deal of strength on our side, all due to impatience. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Osiris's impatience seemed to be driven by a need to prove himself to the Vanguard. I understand the situation. We're still dealing with the fallout on Europa, but the Vanguard must remain open to information, to assistance, or Guardians will try to do everything themselves. I know the Vanguard recently lifted Osiris's exile, and likely offered whatever assistance possible, but we must all use caution in these dark times. In the end, I know I'm merely a field agent, an accomplished one, sure, but I know many others feel the same as I do, and I provide the earlier commentary to help drive improvement within our ranks and operations. Sagira. I can't believe she's gone. Did you know she once hijacked my ghost? Yep. Back when Osiris first resurfaced, she helped us find him. She was cynical. Funny. She had a fiery spirit, which I guess matched Osiris's element of choice. I can't believe she's gone. I'll miss her. Now, the crow. Perhaps mine is not the first report on him to make it to you. Maybe you too have seen the visions in the Dreaming City, or heard reports from any of our Elixni informants on the shore. But we need to be very mindful of this. You know the story. You know how everyone feels. Cade 6, former Hunter Vanguard, was loved by many, and even his critics could not deny his charm. Guardians have felt the hole he left. The Vanguard has felt divided, or at least incomplete, for a long time now. Hunters avoid the city, avoiding the role of Vanguard. During the Festival of the Lost, Cade's is one of the most visited tributes, and the Uldren Sov mask one of the most emotionally charged. After all this time, and despite the revenge that many of us undertook in the shore, feelings toward Uldren remain rampantly violent among Guardians. Spider even called us out on it. Called us fragile killers, quick dealers of violence, slow to recover from our own loss. I have to admit, I was shocked when I first saw him. Suspicion and doubt quickly followed. But we've always maintained that a new light is a new life. With no memory of their past, how could we hold a Guardian accountable? And I must say, after spending some time with the Crow on these so-called Wrathborn hunts, this is not the same man we once knew, the Forsaken Prince. Crow is kind. He expresses concern for us and his ghost. He even seems somewhat non-violent, which is a rare and unexpected turn given the nature of most of us. Forgiveness doesn't come easy to us. Osiris knows this, but has advised us to try. In a communique between us, he reminded me that Aldrin Sov is dead, that pummeling his corpse will do little good, and while it may be cathartic, we are low on light bearers, so if this one is offering help, we should consider it. As I said, I know many will not be quick to forgive. Out here in the wild, guns speak first and they speak loudly. Guardians spend so much of their lives chasing loot and monsters that pretty soon everything is boiled down to that. Cade's death was tragic, but it was also not entirely innocent. We all know that Cade wanted nothing more than to return to the wild, not to be stuck behind a desk. Truth be told, I know Cade was tired. Tired of the constant struggle, tired of the loneliness most Guardians feel. I'm not saying he wanted to die, but he definitely went out a hero, in the field, which is what he wanted. Dreaming City reports indicated that Aldrin was not entirely himself during this time either. Petrovenge, who had locked him up in the prison in the first place, said he appeared corrupted, confused, perhaps even controlled, likely by Riven, the Ahamkara. A link to my full report, from before finding him here on the shore, should be coming up in this transmission now. But the bottom line is, Aldrin Sov is dead. The Crow is here. How the Traveler could have chosen him, I don't know. But he is curious, resourceful, friendly, and so far has been helpful in tracking down these Aaron Hive. I will keep an eye on him, but I try to balance doubt with hope. I don't really know the Crow. He doesn't even really know himself. He's that new. I don't know what the Awoken will think of him, or what he will think when he finds out about his former life. For now, I've been holding back information, but he will likely find out. Discretion can be as rare as glimmer. In any case, to the Vanguard and my fellow Guardians, I know this news is saddening and enraging. Sagira is gone. She returned to the light, and Osiris lives on as a result. We have to be thankful. Aldrin is gone, and the Crow is here. His face may remind us of hard times, but we have to believe that he could change, could become better. We have all had to walk the line, some have crossed it, and if we did not believe in the power of change, well, we would be lost in isolation. When I said earlier that Sagira had been taken by two threats, one old and new, stubbornness was the old of which I was speaking. Guardians, ghosts, the city, nothing is immortal forever. We have got to learn this. Furthermore, while each of us may boast, we are stronger together. That's the whole point of the city, is it not? Europa opened our eyes to the possibility of allegiance with the Elixni, and after all the strange things we have seen, making friends with a former enemy should not be so surprising. So, if you are hearing this, and thinking that you need to take out fresh revenge, think twice. We are beset on all sides by darkness. Hive, Dark Elixni. Do we really need to go after one of our own? For the most cynical of you, keep the Crow at arm's length, like a gun. And just like a weapon, aim him in the direction of danger and let him sort himself out. And that will be where we leave things for today. I'm currently stalking some Hive Knights in the Dreaming City who I believe are infected. I will need to go radio silent for this one, but don't worry, I'm not working alone. Thank you all very much for listening. I know it was a lot to get through, and I had a lot to say. How are you finding the season of the hunt? As always, be sure to leave your thoughts below, and set your Ghost subscription frequency so you can get these reports as they go live. As always, Guardians, I ask that you be safe, be kind, and I'll see you all next time. Bye now.